Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPL Elma. So we're going to be going through my Game Week 13 Wildcard Draft. But before we get into that, we just recently hit 160 subscribers on YouTube, and the goal is to hit 500 subscribers before the end of the year. So if you are new around here and enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe and also don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And without wasting any much time, let's get straight into it. So we can start off with the goalkeepers and the defenders. In goal, you're going to be having Ariola at 4.3 million. I think by the end, you're going to be having a spare of 0.5 million, depending on your team value, of course. With my team, the team value was 0.5 million. And my team value is very low, so I expect all of you to have even more than the amount I'm going to have. So Ariola in goal, 4.3 million, just simply the cheapest playing goalkeeper. For me, when it comes to FPL, goalkeepers don't really matter because unless they get an assist or a goal, it just comes down to clean sheet and save points. So, and I think this small playing goalkeepers often get more save points. So Ariola in there. Then you have Matt Turner, who has kind of lost his place in the Nottingham Forest team to Vlacho Dimis, who has come in and displaced him there. But you never know. Vlacho Dimis might get an injury here, and Matt Turner might be the one to play. 4.1 million. If you want two playing goalkeepers, I'd recommend Pickford, who's at 4.4 million. If you want a playing goalkeeper, but I just gone for Matt Turner, so you can play Ariola no matter what the fixture. Then you have Gabriel for Arsenal, the cheapest playing defender for Arsenal at the moment. That's why I've gone for him. Guaranteed clean sheets. Arsenal, they've been playing really well this season, getting a lot of clean sheets. That's why I've gone for him. Then we have Gehi from Crystal Palace at 4.6 million. They have easy fixtures coming up in their next three, where they play Luton and Bournemouth. So I think those are guaranteed clean sheets. But in EPL, you never know clean sheets when they'll come. But I think those are going to be great fixtures for Crystal Palace, where they can be able to get potential clean sheets. Maybe Gay can be able to get an attacking return because he's dangerous from set pieces and scores a lot of headers. Then you have Taylor, that's going for him the same reason as Ariola, the cheapest current playing defender. So can be able to have rotation in case one of your starting 11 players is injured, and that's why I've gone for him in there. Then you have Tsimikas. Liverpool get a lot of clean sheets, and Tsimikas is on set pieces on the left side. He's on takes corners from that side. Last game week he managed to get 15 points, which I think was amazing. He's not even far from the likes of Van Dijk, Robertson, who have been playing every week. So I think Tsimikas is a decent option. The only problem is when Robertson comes back in, will he displace Tsimikas? Tsimikas missed the match against Wolves, so there might be some rotation involved there. So something to consider if you're going for him. But for now, I think he's going to be in the team for the wild card. Then finishing off the defense, you're going to be having Sofal. These fixtures coming up. They're going to be playing Burnley, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Wolves in their next 6 fixtures. I think West Ham have the easiest fixtures on paper for the next 6 game weeks, and that's why I've gone for Sofal in there. Because I've gone for 3 West Ham players. We'll get into the other one when we go to the next session, but because you see, you have Ariola and Sofal in defense at the moment. And then yeah, that's the easy fixtures, and also he gets a lot of assists. And then the other consideration, if you want to go somewhat different, I'm not so sure if it's a differential because it's highly owned by a lot of people, but Trippier there for other consideration. And with Trippier, they have tough fixtures coming up. They've been relatively poor of late. They consider a lot of goals, but for Trippier, he has the potential for getting assists because he's on almost every set piece. He might get a goal from a free kick, and that's why he's there as a consideration. If you want to go for him, is available. Then we can move on to the midfield. They're going to be having Bowen. That's for the same reasons as Sofal and Ariola. Easy fixtures coming up. He scores a lot of goals, get a lot of assists because he's on corners as well. So Bowen, I think, is a no-brainer. I think he has to be in your team no matter what. Then you have Saka. We all know Saka is the bagsman for Arsenal. He's the main focal point for Arsenal. He's on set pieces from the right side. And so, yeah, so you just have to have Saka in there. You know he's going to be able to get some assists and some goals because he's the main man for Arsenal. Then you have Cole Palmer. He's performing really well for Chelsea this season. He's on penalties and at 5.2 million, starting regularly for a big team, and being on penalties as well. I think he has to be in your team, even if it's for rotation purposes. For also because he's cheap at 5.2 million, I think you should just get him in your team. Then the next player is Mo Salah, who doesn't need an introduction. The bagsman for Liverpool has the most points in FPL so far this season, on course to breaking his record. On the season, I think he scored 32 goals. Already he's almost halfway there. So I think you just have to have him in your team. Scores a lot of goals, gets a lot of assists. Is on penalties for Liverpool. I think you just have to have Salah in your team. Then you have Buemo. Easy fixtures coming up. He's been playing really well for Brentford of late. Ever since people transferred him out in the first game week, I think around game week 8, when they're using their wild card, he's performing really well, and I think he's also a must-have in your team, considering the upcoming fixtures. Then the other consideration, if you want to go somewhat different, I think this Hichan is a differential. That's why I've gone for him. If you want a differential, still trying to reach your competitors in the mini leagues. The fixtures coming up from Fulham, Burnley, Nottingham Forest. They just beat Spurs. They're going to be on high form, and it's also very cheap at 5.5 million. And that's why I've gone for him in there. If you want a cheap option and a good differential, who I think is going to perform in the next 4 matches. And then we can move on to the forwards. They're going to be having Haaland, obviously the bagsman for City, the current top scorer, I think, in the Premier League. So I think you just have to have him in your team. He just scored 2 goals against Chelsea. So he's going to be in form. He's going to be on form. Only slight concern is that he came off injured. I think was it Thursday night when they were playing international friendly. He came off injured with an ankle injury. So that's something to monitor and to see how it's going to go, how long he's going to be out. But if he's going to be fine, and Pep says he's going to be fine, he's a must-have in your team. Then you have Darwin Núñez, been getting many assists so far, this season. He's been having a lot of chances, but not converting them. But if he starts converting those chances, it's going to be a very good asset to have in your FPL teams. Then you have Solanke. Has been on form, just scored 2 goals against Newcastle, and they have very easy fixtures coming up as well. They play Sheffield, Crystal Palace, Luton in the next 5 fixtures. If you want a cheap option, I think Solanke is the man to have in there. It's going to be a slight differential because I don't think many people are going to own him, and that's why I've gone for him as well. Then the other consideration, of course, is Oli Watkins. He's been the bagsman for Aston Villa this season, scoring a lot of goals. It's unfortunate that he's lost his position in penalties to Douglas Luiz, but he still manages to score a lot of goals, and that's why I've gone for him as a consideration if you want a different option in there. So that's the wildcard team. Let me know in the comments what you'd change in the team, who will replace who for who. But for now, this is the team I'm going for. I hope that it's going to be able to help those guys who are using their wildcard team. So the final part, I'm going to show you how the team is going to be looking like for Game Week 13. So this is how the team is going to be looking like for Game Week 13. Let's see that Game Week 13 is I think it's going to be a very low scoring fixture because we have many of our FPL assets clashing against each other, especially the Liverpool and the Man City players, and then the Brentford players as well, the Arsenal players, and then Chelsea are going to be having a tricky fixture against Newcastle. But this is how I line up with Areola in goal, Gabriel, Guehi, Sufal defense, Salah, Palmer, Saka, Bowen in the midfield, and Haaland, Núñez, and Solanke in the forward positions, and maybe captain Haaland or Solanke is not a bad shout against Sheffield, or Bowen against Burnley, then Matt Turner, Taylor, Simicas, and Buemo finishing off the defense. That's how the wildcard team is looking like. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. If you have managed to reach this far, don't forget to leave a like button. Sorry for the background noise. It's been raining cats and dogs throughout the whole day, so cars are passing by. There might be some noise in the background, but hey, if you have reached this far, for sure you have enjoyed. And with that, I'd like to thank you all guys for watching, and I'll see you all guys later. Bye bye.